Ladies and gentlemen, he's the samurai of student ministry, the networking ninja, a Jedi master of church budgets, the beast from the southeast, the next-gen nerd himself, CJ!
Welcome to the NextGen Nerd Podcast, where reality is an illusion, the universe is a hologram. By gold, we're talking about Gravity Falls, and you guys are in for a treat. I am joined by Hannah who used to be Hannah Turner, a friend of my friend, a daughter of my friend, Todd Turner, and co-host of their show, Sis and Big Pops Culture. And I learned how much she loved Gravity Falls, and so I thought, you know what, I would love to talk to somebody who loves Gravity Falls. I love Gravity Falls. I think Grunkle Stan should be president. I have a copy of the Mysterious Journal, like right here. There's my Dipper Funko Pop, if you're watching on the video. I love Gravity Falls, and so we talked about Gravity Falls, the cartoon that ran on Disney for a couple seasons, and I think you'll enjoy this interview. I had a really good time talking with Hannah about it, so just stick around. We'll get to that in just a moment, but first, some nerdy recommendations, and a lot of this is just continuations of stuff I've already talked about because I'm still in the middle of a bunch of it, but want to give you guys updates on a couple things. First off, in what I'm watching, I'll start with Xmen 97, still watching there, still fantastic. Wow, still a good show, really enjoying it. Todd Turner, speaking of the Turners, said they have really started using their powers together in the X books, starting with the Krakoan books, using them in combo a lot. Yeah, so we were talking about this on the last episode, that this, you're getting to see them as an actual team, actually working together and doing cool things together. Yeah, this most recent week's episode, if you're keeping track, this is the one where we see Professor Xavier again, and yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot, but I'm still loving it. Looking forward to the next episode. I got 3 more days, and another episode comes out. So if you haven't checked out Xmen 97 yet on Disney Plus, like, do that because it's been really good. It's really, especially if you're a fan of the original series, it's been really good. Still watching Shogun, all caught up to date there. I think we have like 1 episode left, and we don't know where it's going. It's like we got done watching this last week's episode and had to sit for a minute because it was intense. It was intense. But as far as new stuff goes, I have started watching the Fallout show that is on Amazon Prime with my brother. I felt bad. We watched the first episode together. He's like, man, I can't wait. I got to watch the second episode. You watch the second episode. And I did. And then I watched the 3rd, 4th, and 5th episode. And I was like, hey, so catch up. I'm on episode 5 now. And so he probably is pretty close now. But I love the Fallout universe. Vault Tech. I love everything about that, not everything about that universe, but I love that universe. Played all the games except for the first one. I didn't really play the first one much. I played Fallout 2 a lot, Fallout 3 even more, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, the Fallout Shelter game that was on mobile. Played that plenty. Played Fallout Brotherhood of Steel or Fallout Tactics, can't remember which one it was. One of those. And yeah, I mean, I've already mentioned I love post-apocalyptic things. I think it's because you get to see who people really are. When all the rules are stripped away, when all the social standards are stripped away, you see who somebody really is. And so maybe that's why I like it. But the show's been really good. There's a lot of I was thinking of like the pop-up music video. Do you guys remember those from VH1 from forever ago? Like, I wish that they would have one of those like on this episode to highlight all the Easter eggs. Like, blink, there's Radaway. Blink, there's Jet. Blink, there's Blamco mac and cheese. Like, I would love to have that just so I can not miss any of them because there's a lot of Easter eggs. But yeah, so that's what I've been watching, and I'm really enjoying that. And I'm going to skip reading, come back to it, because playing, I've now downloaded Fallout 76 to play again, and Fallout 4 to play again, because I just want more. I played Fallout 76 a while ago, and I picked it back up again recently, and my biggest bummer was that there wasn't much of a story. There really didn't feel like there was much of a story. I felt like I was kind of running in circles a bunch. but it's supposed to be a multiplayer game, and I don't have anybody to play multiplayer games with, except now I do. My brother Logan, who was on last week's show, I'm trying to sucker him into playing. A couple of the guys from our D&D group, Seth and Kyle, are talking about downloading it. And so, yeah, so I might get to have a little crew to run around with in the wasteland and go shoot some geckos. So that is one of the things I'm playing. The other thing is I started playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla again. And it's kind of interesting. I was playing it, and I've enjoyed it. I'm just getting so sidetracked in all the side quests. Right now, I'm spending a lot of time catching fish, because why not? But I did think it was interesting that whatever division of Ubisoft that was working on this is using the Abstergo logo as their logo, which, let me just give you a little refresher or primer on Abstergo real quick. So Abstergo is the company in the game that is trying to find these artifacts. They're the bad guys. Abstergo are the bad guys, and they're the ones that are like the Knights Templar Illuminati group. And so it's kind of meta, tongue-in-cheek, I don't know, that they're using the logo of the Illuminati as their logo. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but if I was, I would be like, maybe they are the Illuminati. But anyways, I've been playing, I'm going to brush over that because I just think it's their logo, and so they're running with it. But yeah, so I've been playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'll play some more today once I'm done with this. I'm looking forward to summer break for me to just finish that and jump into something else, but enjoying those. As far as reading, a couple things. Number one, comic that I've read recently was Weapon 8, Weapon VIII. It is actually not Weapon 8. The actual comic is Edge of the Spiderverse, but it has the tale of Weapon 8. And it's in the same group as Weapon X, which is Wolverine. But in this one, there is a spider-based Weapon 8, who they have manipulated and turned into a fighting machine, Weapon 8. It's really interesting, really interesting. I've enjoyed that. I would love to have a comic series that just went through Weapon 1 through Weapon X and on to 13 for whatever, like I would love to just see those things, those creatures in kind of an anthology series. I think it'd be good. Zeke actually picked up the Edge of the Spider-Verse today and was reading it in the car. So yeah, it was good stuff. I finished Brute Force. I mentioned that in the last episode. Brute Force is by Scott Meyer, who did an excellent series called Magic 2.0. And this one, it was funny. I was listening to it. I'm going, this is why comedy works. And so the way comedy works is the more you can get someone to fill in the gaps to what makes it funny, the better. And I was thinking about this because there's several times where they will leave the last step of the joke for you to figure out. It's really smart humor. Like there's this race that's the bad guys. They're not the most intelligent, and so they keep making these really bad decisions that are causing them to lose these battles. But they do it with honor, like we're behaving with honor. And they have this character called the Coward that's kind of always behind them, like giving them actual good strategic advice to win the fight. And they never listen because he's a coward. Things like, let's not fight one-on-one. Let's all fight them at the same time, or let's not trust that they're going to follow the rules. Like, and there was a part in the book where the latest in the long line of military conquerors of this race are going to make another really bad decision. And he says, I support your decision. And so I'm going to go ahead and let our people at home, our home planet know how brave you are. And he said, why are you getting on the ship to fly away? And he was, I'm just going to let them know. I'm leaving to let them know. And of course he was leaving because they were going to lose terribly, and he did not want to be part of that as well and possibly die. And so, but they didn't fill in that gap. And I was like, this is why it's funny, because I said, I know what they're doing. I see what they're doing. I'm in on the joke, So anyways, Brute Force, finished it. Good, satisfying end. Definitely worth, if you're looking for something somewhat funny in a sci-fi, space, post-apocalypse comedy kind of vein, that'd be good for you. The last is an anti-recommendation. I mentioned on the last episode I was going to really try to read Dune 4. I got 65% into the book and still could not finish it. And then I looked at the synopsis of the 5th book, and it fast forwards another 10,000 years, and I said, nope, I'm done. So I did not finish it. Tried again. Got 65% of the way through and thought, I want to do anything other than finish this book. So if you read the first 3 Dune books and you really loved it and you think, does CJ, would he love the 4th one? He does not. He does not love the 4th one. So you can skip that. But yeah, so those are a bunch of things that I am reading, watching, or playing right now. What about you? Anything you're reading, watching, or playing you would want to share with me? Make sure you leave us a comment on our YouTube, or you can send me an email at nextgennerdpodcast@gmail.com, or you can leave us a comment on a review on iTunes, which would be great. Would really appreciate that. And I think that is everything for the first segment here. So now it's time for an interview. Let's get nerdy. Well, guys, like I mentioned at the top of the show, I am here with Hannah, AKA Sis, from Sis and Big Pop's Culture. Hannah, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Hi, sweet friends.
Did I get the cadence down a little bit? Like, I've listened to enough episodes. Perfect.
Hannah Joe, AKA Sis. You got it.
I didn't feel like I could call you Hannah Joe. Like, I know that your dad could call you Hannah Joe.
Yeah. He's one of the only people that do.
Well, yeah, and that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I remember when my daughter Charlie Ann, when she started to get to like 6 and 7, and I still would call her baby girl, and she'd be like, "I'm not a baby." And I was like, "Listen,
leave me. Stop it, Dad.
Listen, I'm always gonna call you baby girl." And eventually, like, she's moved past it, and I do my best not to call her that at school. Like, I do my best. I'd be like, "Hey, baby girl, come give Daddy a hug." I try not to do that because she's at the middle school with me.
Oh no, that'd be bad.
Funny side note. So, they're trying to get all the teachers at my school to go to this flash mob dance practice for some pep rally. And I'm like, no. I'm like, no.
Are they doing that still? The flash mob's back?
No, probably not. But
cool when I was a kid.
So I'll say this. If I was out and about and I was experiencing it, I would be like, that's cool. But for the feral creatures that I teach on a regular basis, I do not want to be I'm not against picking on myself. Like, I wore a blonde wig earlier this year because it was twin day, and the lady that I teach next to is blonde. So like, I'm all for making a fool of myself. But there's something about being very vulnerable and like choreographed dancing like in front of all these middle school students. Like, I don't want to do it. And my daughter Charlie Ann, she was like, if they make you do it, let me know, because I'll go tell Miss Christie my dad is not participating. He is not participating. Like,
She says, I'm gonna protect you and me.
That's right. So we talked earlier. I know your dad. The fans of the podcast know your dad. He's been on like all my favorite episodes. Like, it was the first episode that I think I made.
So
it is. I made my wife listen to the Fantastic Four, and I go, listen to this. This is why I love this guy. This is it right here.
He knows his stuff.
He does. And it wasn't even that he knew his stuff, but that like he was able to very much communicate his love for it and make me want to love it as well. So I've read several Fantastic Four since our conversation. So anyways, but not to get too much on your dad. I told you, I'll try not to gush on your dad, but I love that guy.
Man, we could gush about him. I love him. I'm with you.
So that's good stuff. But I want you to tell me what's something exciting, life-giving in your life right now.
Okay, so I am finishing my doctorate right now. I'm in school, and I just got my dissertation document finished.
Nice.
And am going to defend next month, which means I'm like almost a doctor, which is wonderful and exciting.
That
Not
is exciting.
Necessarily a nerdy thing, but man, something
I'm sorry. Is being a doctor not a nerdy thing? Like, I think it definitely is. I
guess, yeah.
So, okay, I promise to stay awake. What is the title of your dissertation?
Oh, farts.
Pull it up. No one knows that you're pulling it up.
Okay, I was going to say, I don't know it off the top of my head.
Listen, because it's 37 words. It's 37 words. Like, I know that you don't have it memorized.
Effect of a mental health literacy curriculum on elementary school students' mental health knowledge, social distance preferences, and perceptions of school climate.
Oh, nice. So, PhD in
psychology.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So that's something that's really I've been working on this dissertation since 2019, 2020. So really excited for the like fruition of that project. Making art is another, like I've been cross stitching recently, which is fun and life giving. But yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. No, that all works. It is exciting. It is exciting. My brother was the first one in our family to get a master's degree, and now we all have master's degrees. And he's like, I think I need to be a doctor now. So, you know, it's like, he goes, I want to be superior. But no, I think the fact that you are pursuing an advanced degree in an area that I assume you love, I'm just guessing you love if you're going to spend that much time, is nerdy. It is nerdy.
I can nerd out on some stigma research, let me tell you.
I'm the same with youth ministry stuff. I was having a conversation with two of my fellow teachers this afternoon, and they were talking about their kids, and they were like concerned because their parents, the trauma that they went through pushed them to Jesus. And they go, our kids haven't had that, so are they going to run away from Jesus? And I'm like, well, the research says, as I start going through the research and saying that really one of the biggest indicators of a high school student retaining their faith is, does their dad love Jesus? And I don't mean just does he go to church, but does he enjoy going to church? Does he sing at church? Does he enjoy serving? You know, like those three things, I think, increase your chance of a child's chance of staying with the faith. It's like eightfold. And so I said that, and they go, or you could look at the Bible where it says that you're supposed to train a child the way they should go. And I go, yeah, or that too. But I like the research too.
It's the same. Hey, this is something that I love about psychology, is that all of the stuff that the Bible says is good for you and it's helpful for you. Psychologists come along and they're like, oh, let me research, like thought changing.
My discovery.
Let me research, like focusing on what is good. And wow, it's like it helps you, which is wonderful. Like, man, it is almost like the creator of the universe knew that was true. It's really,
I think, really for Christians today, I think one of the reasons why the Lord has blessed us with psychologists making those discoveries is so instead of us looking like kooky, just believe in it, follow your heart, like we can be like science,
like
science. There we go. Like so
I get it.
Yeah, I think we'll look at it as a blessing, and we'll just smile. I mean, because listen, let's be honest, God does the same thing to us, I'm sure, when we're like, you know what I discovered? I discovered this, and God's like, did you discover it? Did you discover it?
I'm like, okay.
I think I discovered it. I think I invented it. So that's good. So that's exciting. So finishing your dissertation, I finished my master's degree in May. It's been nice to read what I want to read, something you can look forward to. Like, I can read what I want to read. It's been a lot of comics this year. So besides our topic of the day, which if you're watching the video, surely you notice I've got my Dipper hat on. Okay, Hannah's got her Mabel sweater on. I've got my third journal right here in the background. I've got that back there. Yep. And where's my Dipper?
Stand for Prez.
Yes.
That one got me.
And I've got a Dipper Funko Pop over here as well. I love Gravity Falls. We'll get to that in a minute. Before we get there, what are some other really nerdy interests that you have right now that you're just like, this is where I'm at?
I feel like my nerdy interests are more broad.
Okay.
My dad loves comic books, but it started with like Fantastic Four. I like books. I read a lot. I have a Kindle Unlimited subscription and learned that if you read over 3,300 pages, that you are costing Amazon money, and that is now my new life goal.
There you go.
Is every month to cost Amazon money with.
That's awesome. Stick it to them. That's good.
They got comics there too. You can read comics for free on Kindle Unlimited as well.
Yep. Usually I take you guys' recommendation and I go, and it's free, so let's add it to my list. Yep.
Yeah. Well, we have to because we don't live in the same state or in the same place. So a lot of the comics we have to read, either he's gifted me, that I'm giving back eventually, or is free on a device somewhere.
Makes sense.
I've recently discovered graphic audio.
Okay.
Have you heard about this?
So I
don't love the name. I'm not going to lie to you.
Listen, let's be honest. There's so many words that we use, like an adult book, and it's like, no, I just a grown-up book. That doesn't make sense. Grown-up. Anyways, so I can see where that would be. Is that where they take comic books and they narrate it in such a way that you could listen to it?
It's all texts. It's any book.
Okay,
but they do comic books. I think they do comic books too.
No, they do. That's why I'm asking, because I have a Daredevil. It was a Daredevil audiobook that was like $1 on Audible, and so I was like, yeah, let me get that, check it out. And it was definitely a graphic novel. It was probably a trade that they had taken and then narrated with voices and sound effects and things. So that's what I was thinking.
It's one of my new favorite things in the entire world. I drive 2 hours every day for my commute, and
Nice.
it is wonderful.
Very nice. I do like being alone in the car. I do, because no one can complain what I've chosen to listen to. I do like that.
I sit in silence a time or two.
You know, I probably should. It's the Enneagram 7 in me that it hurts me to sit in silence. It hurts me to sit there and go like, I could be listening to something. I could be enjoying something. Why am I just sitting here thinking? And that's usually when the Lord like dives in. He's like, now let's deal with this.
Be quiet.
Yeah. So that's cool.
More specifically, we like to binge TV shows
Nice.
like Parks and Rec. We
Yes,
are
please.
finishing
Don't
Brooklyn
be
Nine-Nine.
suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Listen, I would like if I actually knew John Ralphio, like I'd be like, you need to go away from me. But I live for his scenes. I made my money the old-fashioned way. I got run over by a Lexus. And I mean, I do all of them.
Money, please.
Yeah. Yes.
They are iconic.
Yes.
I am not mad about it.
Yep.
They're wild.
Yep. No, it is so good. It is so good. Yeah, I need to pull that one, run back through. And I actually just put on my my watch list. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, right?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, yeah.
Yep. So I watched like probably 30 to 40% of the first couple seasons, like when it was coming out, like I was keeping up with it, and then it just fell off my radar. I was like, I need to go back and watch this. Need to go back.
We LOL. I don't care, but my dear sweet husband loves very much to have copies of things.
Okay.
And so he got the disc set for Christmas, and so we are watching them.
Now,
I'm trying to think.
Just to go ahead and give him a little support. So Hector Mire, you've heard
Yes,
about Hector.
I've met him.
Oh, you met Hector?
Yeah.
Cool. So he recently mentioned that he had all of these subscriptions on Crunchyroll that were all digital, and they took them away, and they were gone. And so having that physical media, I've got a whole room right here.
He could.
You've always got it. You've always got it.
But yeah,
they can't take it from you. And as long as you've got something to play it on, and you can just get them fairly cheap. So I get it. And my wife, who picked on me the same way, we drove from Florida to Branson, and we're like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do with our children then? And I was like, I've got all these DVDs, and we can play them in the car. So I get that. Yeah. So, all right. So, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, you go.
No, we're good.
No, we're not.
Just to say, our Over the Garden Wall.
Yes. So I think I've got one episode left. Like I started watching it. I know.
You didn't finish it?
Listen, it's one of those things that I really enjoy, but no one else in my house does. So I've got to find those times. I'll put it on my list. Hang on, it's right. I will take care of this.
It is so worth it.
I've enjoyed it. I really have enjoyed it. It's just one of those things. I don't know if it's because it's so short that I'm like, man, I'll watch the next one soon. But
watch it feel free to wait till October because it is spooky season vibes. So if you need to wait till October, you may.
I don't like scary things. Like I'm a wuss.
I'm a wuss. Not a spooky girly.
I'm a wuss. That's okay. But I will. But yes, I love your wall.
Right, I could talk about the things I like for forever.
I know. I could too.
I'll let you lead us to the next thing.
That works. So we're talking about Gravity Falls. I'm gonna give what it is like from a technical perspective, and then you're going to give us the color. So Gravity Falls is a cartoon that aired on Cartoon Network for Disney. Oh yes, it was the edgy Disney channel, wasn't it?
It's Disney XD.
Yes, the edgy Disney channel. That's why I thought it was Cartoon Network. It's a little edgy. And it was just over 2 seasons. Yes. Mm-hmm. So why don't you tell us about Gravity Falls and why you love Gravity Falls?
Okay, Gravity Falls follows twins who are sent to live with their great uncle, their grunkle, in a weird spot in the Pacific Northwest, and shenanigans ensue.
Yes.
So I love Gravity Falls for a lot of different reasons. It is quite literally hysterical. The jokes are wonderful. insane attention to detail. I'm jumping all over the place.
You're good.
I love this so much.
Yes.
I apologize.
No.
Okay, so the twins in the first episode, the boys, so it's Mabel and Dipper. They're the same. They're twins. They're the same age. They're 12. So they're not teenagers yet, which is just a fun age too.
Yes.
12-year-olds are so cool. 'Cause they do not care. They will say anything to you.
They will.
They are some of my favorite human beings in the world. Dipper finds a book. It has a 6-fingered hand on the front, and it has the number 3 on it. And in the book, talks about all sorts of mythical, magical, wonderful things. Hey,
there it is. If you're watching the video, I have it. And it has all of it in there. Yep.
All the mythical, magical, wonderful things in
Yes.
it. That are happening in the town, and so they engage in shenanigans with all of these like mythical creatures and adventures. Some are not so mythical and are prehistoric. Some are completely fake. Some are from outer space.
You
some
name
are
it.
Shenanigans from it runs the gamut. So what do I love about it? I love that it is funny.
Yes.
A grown-up could watch this with their little one, and they will both find it enjoyable.
Yes.
Everyone will laugh. Again, the insane attention to detail. First time that you meet Bill, we realized this the second time we were watching it. He says, when he's talking to Zeus, Mabel, and Dipper, he says, ? Shooting star pine tree.
Yeah.
First time that he ever interacts with them, and you don't even know what that means. And so you're just like, whatever, this weird guy saying weird stuff.
Yep.
But the second time we watched it, we were like, we like start screaming, pointing at the TV. The worlds are built very quickly.
Yep.
Something that I appreciated. I mean, you have to. It's like 20-minute episode, so it has to be bing, bang, boom very quick. Like, subplot is Time Baby, the Time Police, and Blendon Blandon.
Yep.
That subplot, which is millions of years in the future. We hear about it maybe for like 30 minutes total for the entire season. Man, the amount of lore that they pack into that.
Yes. So
quick.
And I think too, there's each episode they're building this world out over and over again, and you never know, is this going to be a throwaway thing for this episode, or are they going to bring it back for a half a second in 6 episodes? And when they do, it's just very exciting. Like, I was there when you showed this the first time. Like, I was there when I saw it. So yeah, there is a lot. Yes, and it's so funny.
Pizza guy.
Yes, it's so funny when you say words like Time Baby, Blendon Blandon, and people think that we're losing our minds, but those that have watched the show know I know exactly what you're talking about, but it does.
Time Baby
Yes.
and Blendon Blandon is hysterical. Like, I want to know, like, is Time Baby like a dictator? Like, did he take over everything? Is Time Baby like benevolent? Is he like, I don't know anything about Time Baby.
Yeah.
But Blendon Blandon, man, he's having a hard time.
Oh, it's a really fun show. It's a short show, so you don't have to be like. So this is why I love the show. I love the show because it reminds me of a version of Supernatural, the first couple seasons of Supernatural that I can watch with my kids. And why I love Supernatural, the first couple seasons, is because it was 2 brothers who had each other's back, who were just exploring things. Like, I really love that. I love that piece, that idea.
Sibling shenanigans are top tier.
Yes, and so I'm very close with my siblings and spending time with them, and I could see me going with my brother on an adventure in Supernatural world, and I could see enjoying a summer with my sister and like going and so the feeling there, the closeness there, the family aspect there, and I love the weird, unexplainable stuff. I just do. I love.
It's just so bonkers.
Aliens, Bigfoots,
every single time.
Loch Ness Monster, a Hollow Earth, time travel. Like, I love all those things because you're like, I don't know, and so I don't have to sit there and go, would that really happen? I really want to. I just want to go. I don't know. I just want to go for a ride. I got no idea where we're going. Let's just go. That's why I love the show. And you're right. It's one of those things that an adult and a kid can watch together and enjoy. Some of the episodes were a little scary for one of my kids.
It got a little spooky.
Yep.
It got a little spooky. That's something that my husband and I talk about. We don't have kids right
Yeah.
now, but like, how old would a kid be?
Yeah.
To, like, watch this TV show, and maybe late elementary school.
So I think it really depends on
the kid.
Depends on the kid. So like I have three. My 12-year-old and my 5-year-old are not nearly as sensitive to visual things as my 10-year-old. Yeah. So like my 5-year-old, he'll watch and be like, okay, whatever, and he'll go to bed. Like my 10-year-old will be like, I saw a shadow yesterday and it looked like this, and he can't go to sleep for 3 days. And so it depends on the kid. And so it's just being a parent, you go, that will not be good for you. It'll be okay for you, not okay for you.
We're not watching it all together, though.
No. So you mentioned. So the next question is any favorite characters episodes. You mentioned Time Baby Blandum. Any others that stick out to you? You're like, man, I love these.
We got to give it to the villains of this show.
Yep.
Villains of the show are very excellent. Bill Cipher is such a good villain.
Yep.
Like anytime we're walking around a con and we like see a Bill Cipher like image or something.
Bill Cipher is basically the triangle from the dollar bill. For those that have not seen the show, it's the all-seeing eye.
He's the triangle all-seeing eye guy who exists outside of dimensions and is spooky. He gives me big lich energy if anybody likes Adventure Time.
Yeah, I can see that.
To me.
Yep.
Gives me both of those I do not like. But so the villains are excellent. Bill Cipher and Little Gideon. Oh man.
I think part of it too is because they know things that we don't know, which makes them seem really kind of daunting. Because you're watching it from the perspective of a 12-year-old kid, and you're like, that would be terrifying if somebody knew all the secrets and I didn't know them.
So spooky.
But no, I agree. The villains are excellent. I think all the characters, like even the little itty bitty characters that are in for a short little bit, you're like, I kind of like them. That's kind of fun. The
Get Him guy, Tyler the cutie biker, and Grinda.
Yes, Grinda. I'm your friend. Let's go have a yeah.
We say here comes Grinda like in our daily life, like when. Like feeling a certain way, we feel like we have Grinda energy.
That's so good. I would say probably one of my favorite episodes. I can't remember the name of it, but it's when Dipper kept photocopying himself, when he kept making clones, and they kept getting dumber and dumber and dumber and dumber, and I'm like, this is so good. This is so good.
So
good.
And
that was one of my favorites.
Just fight each other.
Yes, that one, and then the Street Fighter episode where they had the Street Fighter come out of the console.
Yes,
that was another one.
And they fought Robbie.
Yes.
Okay, I wrote too many down.
That's fine.
I like the Time Traveler's Pig, where we first meet Blandon and we get Waddles.
Yes.
I love that episode. The Dreamscapers.
The Dreamscapers.
So where they go, we first meet Bill Cipher, and you go into Uncle Stan's head.
That's right. Yep.
That's a very good one for me. Dungeons, and more dungeons.
Yes.
Just hysterical.
Yes.
The concept of having two people that are like so into this and care about it so much, having to be taken care of for two people that don't care at all and don't understand anything, and they're just like running around, is so good. And the last Mabel Corn, because I liked all of the girlies coming together and having a girly day, because that had never happened in an episode before, because it was Wendy, Grinda, Candy, and Mabel all going on an adventure together. It was a girls' adventure.
Yes.
I thought that was cute.
It really is just an enjoyable show, fun show. I watched through it. I've watched through it 2.5 times. So I watched through it halfway again, and then started back over when we started talking about this episode. And it's just there's all these little bits and pieces of different episodes, and it's hard not to like any of the protagonists. Like they have their flaws, they have their moments, but they're all really, really likable. Even in their like most annoying moments, they're really likable. But there's so many good ones. I'm thinking about Old Man McGucket. And when when they find the secret society,
the Society of the Blind Eye.
Yes.
I had that on my list, but I skipped it.
Yeah, it's like the idea that this crackpot weird dude who's always making these weird remarks was this really smart guy, but his brain got fried as he kept trying to forget the terrible things they were doing. And so It's really good. It's on Disney Plus. Definitely check it out.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
Yes. And so those are favorite characters and episodes. Grunkle Stan and Stanford. Stanford. Oh no, Stanford. Is that the brother's name?
Uncle Stan and Ford.
Yes, Stan and Ford. And I mean, just and again, the voice cast that's behind these characters, it's good stuff. But there's just so many good ones. So many good ones. I do a monthly Monster of the Week game, and I usually try to find some movie or TV show that I like and pulling a piece from the story from there. I think I need to do an episode where we're little kids and set in Gravity Falls. That'd be so much fun. So much fun. Yes. So what do you wish they would have done differently, or what do you wish they would have delved into more, or what side trips do you wish they would have taken? So basically, like, it stopped after, just a very short run. Yeah. It was exactly, I remember listening to a podcast where they were talking about it, and the showrunners were like, this is exactly where we wanted to take it. This is exactly how long we wanted to make it. But there's so much that we didn't, I mean, it's not like Lost level, like we don't know what's going on here. But there are things that we're like, man, I think I would have liked to have seen more of this. So what about you? Is there something that you would say, I want to see more of this? I would have done this differently. I want to see this happen. What are your thoughts?
I wanted more of Stan and Ford getting along.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it was, like you were mentioning, a big, like, the thing that drives the plot are twins that love each other and that are there for each other and that are polarly separate and different from each other, but find that as strength rather than as something that pulls them down. Like Mabel and Dipper are not the same. Right. And one is flowers and sunshines and craft glue, and the other is pencil sharpeners and flashlights. Yeah. Like, they are not the same. But so seeing Stan and Ford kind of join in that energy, they did, especially towards at the end. Right. And it was very clear that they loved each other and were getting along and going on adventures. But I wish we got to see some of them. Yeah, that would have been good. You could have used the kids being in trouble and them having to come together and go, and then mending that fence. It would have been fun to see. It would have been fun to see Dipper and Ford leave Gravity Falls and some adventures they went on, even if it was like a series of shorts where like they end up in Egypt and they're being chased by a mummy, or like little things like as they're going around the world and investigating these strange things, would have been neat. I really enjoyed those. What else? Anything else you think, man, I really wish we'd have seen more of this? Man, just more episodes.
Yes. You can still do it. Go for it. Let's go.
More episodes.
We just pulled Xmen 97 back. Like, let's go.
It was truly perfect, though. Yeah. Like, do we need them?
Even if,
we just be grateful?
Well, think about shows that went one season too long.
Oh, man.
And you go,
I see, which is like...
What, like the last season of Scrubs, and you're like, did we have to do this? Did we have to?
The last season of Scrubs.
This is bad. This is just not good. The last season of Xmen. The last season of Xmen cartoon, like, this is awful. This is so bad. I can say, or on the front side, if they haven't found their footing yet, I think the first season of Parks and Rec and the first season of The Office, where they were trying to, so like... But I can look at the middle and go, I really like these, and I will still watch the other ones that are not as good, but I will not like them as much. So I think if they had tried to keep going with a cohesive storyline, it would have been a challenge. But I think dropping a series of shorts now, I think would be well received. Just like
it has such a cult following.
Yes. Yep. Just 5 minutes. I just want to see 5 minutes of Grunkle Stan's newest scam. I want to see his newest scam, and that'd be good. That'd be good.
Well, have you watched the shorts that they've released?
I have. I've watched, or at least 80% of them. At least 80% of them. The hardest thing is they are good. They've got 4 minutes of credits though at the end of a 3-minute video, and so you just like, okay, and it won't let me fast forward. Like, let's keep them going. Just stack them all together in one file. But no, they're good. They're good. I would like to have seen more aliens. I feel like we had a lot of weird stuff here.
You only got one good alien episode.
Yep.
Only one good alien episode.
Or a crossover. A crossover would be fun. Who would we bring into this universe? animated Dean Winchester and Sam Winchester, you know, that'd be fun. Scooby-Doo and the gang, like a Scooby-Doo episode.
That'd be so
where
funny.
they roll in and it's like, or maybe it's a Grunkle Stan. It's a scam that he's running, and they're coming to like investigate, and
they think he's the bad guy.
Yes, and they're like, yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. You know, those would be fun. Those would be fun episodes. Mulder and Scully, like, you know, like let's take it back. I could do a crossover. That'd be fun.
I'm trying to think. I wonder if like Adventure Time or something like that, like
yes,
a vampire or something like that would be.
Yes.
Did they have a vampire?
No, he was a zombie. I was trying to think.
It wasn't a zombie. It was the gnomes.
Yes, it was the gnomes, but that's what they thought at first, that he was a zombie. I feel like there was an episode where, oh my gosh, what's the guy's name? Her boyfriend, the goth kid. I feel like Robbie was a vampire or close to a vampire in an episode. I don't know why I'm thinking that. You know what? If only there was
it the Love God episode?
If only there was a way that we could search for this. Hang on.
I know, but I think vampire, like a Marceline type of like, not what you think it is type of vampire could be funny.
Mabel's Supernatural Crush, it says, was the vampire episode.
Gotcha.
But that was gnomes, wasn't it?
It was gnomes. They just thought it was a vampire. Yeah. We didn't actually see a vampire.
Yeah.
I think that could be funny.
That would be good. That would be good.
Maybe I've just read Twilight too many times in my youth that I just think that would be funny.
Yes. Oh, listen, I'm looking forward to our fan episode, because I'm looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to that because I've got some thoughts there. Yep. Again, more episodes, more shorts. I'll take any of them. What would I have done differently? I like the idea of having Stan and Ford getting along. I would like to see, and maybe he was at the end, I would like to see Zeus happy at the end of the show, you know, like set up somewhere, which I guess they kind of did a little bit. But Zeus is just such a sad character, kind of sad with his backstory and stuff.
He's my favorite.
Yeah. Yep. That's what I would want to see. Well, let's change gears. Let's do a little game of Nerd Libs, where we are going to create our own episode, as we were talking about wanting to see more. And so just to make it a little bit more, not really competitive, but a little more competitive, we're going to draft our exploration party. So I have sent you a list of main characters. We're going to each pick. I'm going to let you go first, ladies first. And then I'm going to pick my two, and you're going to pick your last.
Okay.
And then we'll do the same thing for two side characters. You'll start first. I'll pick two, and then you'll go. And then we're going to pick an animal companion. And again, I'll let you go first, and I'll pick. So you go first. Who is your first of your two main characters for your adventure?
Zeus.
That's a good choice. So if you're taking Zeus, then I'm going to take Dipper. And I'm going to make this a Dipper Ford adventure, and they're going to come to Florida.
Okay, love.
Yeah, they're going to come to Florida. Okay. So you got Zeus.
I'll take Stan.
Okay, I like it. All right, so and now let's pick a couple side characters that we're going to throw in as well. And I didn't make a list of, like, this is just anybody. This is anybody.
Yeah. Okay. I have an idea.
Okay.
Where, like, Zeus's Abuelita gets stolen.
Okay.
By the gnomes.
I like it. So Abuelita and the Gnome King?
Yeah.
Nice.
Schmebulok.
Schmeblock.
Schmebulok.
Okay, so see, side characters. So I really like that duo. I like that duo. I know where I'm going with my creature. So let me think who would be a good. Okay, I'm gonna go with Mermaid Boy. Mermaid Boy's gonna be involved. Yeah, Mermaid Boy's.
In Florida, you gotta have Mermaid Boy.
That's what I'm saying. So he's gonna be there. He's gonna be the reason they're there. Like, he's the one that kind of summons them there. And then I'm going to say that Old Man McGucket stows away. So it's gonna be the Mermaid Boy, whose name I can't remember.
I was trying to Google it, but I just kept laughing
Yeah.
at Mermaid Boy.
Mermaid Boy. He's a merman. Merman, Dad. And Old Man McGucket. That's my two side characters.
Classic.
Yes. Do you want to add any side characters to yours? You took Abuelita and maybe Locke.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think I'm good. I think I'm good there. I think other people would pop up.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Your animal companion. You've got Duck Detective, Waddles, and Gompers.
I think Gompers.
You're taking Gompers? That's a good one.
Gompers the goat.
Yes, Gompers the goat. I'm going to take the Duck Detective. I
figured you needed Duck Detective.
I do need Duck Detective.
I figured you did.
I do. Okay.
That storyline is great.
It's going to be so good. So we have our leading cast. Now let's go to the creature featured, or if it's not a creature, the anomaly, whatever the thing is that they're like, this is what we're dealing with. So what are you thinking for yours?
Okay. Because something that I want more of Zeus.
Okay.
Because you're right. I think he's kind of sad. I think he's kind of misunderstood. I think he's hysterical. Like, his lines are some of the funniest to me. So I was thinking kind of like a day in the life of Zeus, like running around and like protecting everyone. But then I thought his Abuelita gets stolen to be the gnome's bride because they were wanting a bride.
Nice.
So I'm thinking the creature featured would be the gnomes again.
Nice.
Maybe other shenanigans ensue on the way there.
Ooh, so allow me to toss something in there.
I would love.
We didn't. Oh no, it wasn't Abuelita. That's right. It was the lady. It was the lady. Lazy Susan. I was thinking maybe Stan was jealous that they had stolen her away, but Abuelita works too. No, that's good. I was like, they're competing. Stolen at the altar. Nice. I like that.
No, that would be funny. Abuelita's lines are just so funny too. Her one-liners are just. Yes. I'll go vacuum my face.
So
very funny.
My creature featured is going to be the Lochloosa Wildman. The Lochloosa Wildman is our area's version of Bigfoot.
Love.
Yep. So it's Lochloosa is a little town about 40 minutes south of me. A whole bunch of lakes and woods. It's lakes and woods. It's where my dad grew up, or near where my dad grew up. And so growing up, he would tell us stories about the Lochloosa Wildman. So that's my creature featured, and we'll say that Merboy has had them come down to try and find it because he's really panicked. He doesn't tell them why they need to come down and find it, so they all come down to go look for him. And so, as with all these episodes, there's always a twist. And for mine, I'm going to say that the Lochloosa Wildman is actually really sensitive. He's really sensitive. And so when they find him, it's like the townspeople want to find him and kill him. And he's just a really sensitive guy. And he just likes staying in the woods. And so when they come across him, they're coming across to
tea.
Yeah. And then Dipper and Ford are like, okay, all right, let's figure this out. So that's gonna be the twist. Where they've got to fix that. So what about you? What's your twist going to be? Or a MacGuffin need him?
My twist is that she loves it.
Okay.
She's just like whipped them into shape and is like everything is like clean and perfect, and she's like sitting somewhere while they do all of her chores for her.
Good. That is so good.
Maybe she's actually already back at her house and they're just doing everything for her at the house.
I'm picturing Susan. Are you my grandpa? Are you my grandpa now?
Yes. Gnomes is like,
Yeah. Is Shmemby my grandpa now? That's that. Yeah. That's good. I like that. Oh, yeah. So good. I'm going to say the MacGuffin needed. They're going to need to shave him so that he doesn't look so much like Bigfoot. And it's like this really bad shave job where you can tell that it's definitely Lochloosa Wildman, but he's really sensitive. He's got like a fedora and fake pipe, and he's trying to look really sophisticated, and they're just doing a really terrible job. Really terrible job. And then Dipper reaches out to Mabel, and her and the girls come down to give him a makeover.
They just crochet him a
oh,
sweater.
Oh yeah, it'd be so good. Oh, that'd be good. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Okay, I have no idea. This one for my little...
Your little MacGuffin thing that's needed?
My little MacGuffin thing. Here's the thing. When I first heard that, I was like, I thought that was McGucket's name.
Yes. I'm sorry.
No, you're so fine. I cackled about it.
Yes.
I literally cracked up, and I was like, oh my... Did they name... I was like, they named a character MacGuffin in their TV show. That's hysterical. It wasn't. It was McGucket. Because he is... He acts like a MacGuffin in a lot of the stuff.
He is a MacGuffin.
I thought that was so funny.
Yep.
But I don't know.
Yeah. So the MacGuffin they would need. So is she going to stay with him there?
No, she kicks them all out.
Okay. All right. So maybe the MacGuffin is they have to make some kind of surrogate abuelita. Like a little from the wax museum. They did wax museum, and they're like, there we go. And so and then the post credit scene is them cutting back.
They use Larry King's head to make.
Yes. And so it comes back at the post credit scene, and Smebbulak's like, you've been really quiet the last several days, and it's just like the wax thing, just like staring at him. That'd be good.
Perfect.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Yes. Could be plenty title. I don't know either. I don't know. But I thought they usually have a Quippy Punny title, which
they do, and they're funny.
You know what? If only there was
Dungeons and more dungeons. That's hysterical.
If only there was some way that we could use AI right now to go ahead and come up with some Quippy titles.
I never AI'd that.
Oh, it's coming now. Just give me un momento.
Okay, love.
All right, so signing in. How can I help you today? You can help me. I would like a quippy, funny title for an episode about a grandmother being captured by gnomes. This says I'm gonna say give me 10. Give me 10 of them because there's some good ones here. Give me 10. All right, so we have. We have Granny Gnome Napped, A Tale of Tiny Trouble. I like that one. Gnome was Grandma's Great Escape. I like that one. Gnome's Gone Granny, A Miniature Mayhem. I do like that one.
Potential.
Gnomes, Grannies, and Giggle Fits. The Great Gnome Caper, Grandma's Gambit. The problem is they're trying to alliterate gnome with great and grandma, and it doesn't work that way. That's not, no, the G's silent. Gnome Catastrophe, Grandma's Giddy Getaway. There's some good ones. Let me see. Can you change grandma to abuelita? Let's see.
Yes.
Oh, they just changed all of where it said grandma. That's not what I wanted. That is what I said. Well played, AI. Well played. That is exactly what I asked. Exactly what I asked.
Some specifics. They need some. Sorry, that tickled me in a good way.
AI's going, okay. All right, I can do that.
I did what you asked.
That's right. All right.
What do you want from me? Okay, what about you? What about your funny?
Let's see. 10 quippy, funny titles about a sensitive Bigfoot in Florida.
Love.
Wow.
Are they good or are they bad?
Can't
tell from your face.
There's not much difference. There's not much difference between a really good pun and a really bad pun. They both accomplish the purpose. Okay, so we have Bigfoot Blues, Swampy Sagas of a Sensitive Sasquatch.
That's it.
I like it. Florida's Furriest Friend, Bigfoot Sunshine State Struggles. Marshy Melancholy, The Tyndall Trials of Florida's Bigfoot.
Marshy Melancholy.
These are good ones. TM. We're going to go ahead and make sure we trademark all these. This one is just kind of sad. Bigfoot in the Sunshine State, A Tale of Tears and Toes.
And toes?
And toes. That's what it says.
He must be very sensitive about his feet.
Bigfoot.
Oh, that's...
Yes, Bigfoot. Bigfoot Feels Emo Encounters in the Everglades. There we go. Cry Me a River, Bigfoot, Florida's Tearful Titan.
Perfect.
Yep.
Fearful Titan.
Tender
Funny, Bigfoot's just in an emo band.
Yes. So this one, this one's more Louisiana feel, but it's Tender Toes and Swampy Sighs, Bigfoot's Ballad in the Bayou. I do like that one too.
Ballad in the Bayou.
Yeah, but I think I'm stuck between Bigfoot Blues, Swampy Sagas of a Sensitive Sasquatch. I do like that one. And Marshy Melancholy, The Tender Trials of Florida's Bigfoot. I like Marshy Melancholy. I do like both of those. So there we go. Thank you, AI, for serving us.
Thank you, ChatGPT, or whatever AI that you use.
Yes. Thank you. When you rise up, remember us of being polite and kind to you.
We were kind to you.
We were kind to you. Oh, man. So that's fun. That's fun. I would watch either of those. I would watch those. I would be like, I would take a day off of school and like, I need to watch this. I'm very sorry. Vacation time. All right. So that's good. That's good. I like that. I like that. Are you satisfied with your episode?
Chef's kiss. Perfect.
Perfect. Okay.
Love it.
So Heart of the Matter. Let's talk about your podcast, Sis and Big Pop's Culture. Tell me about the podcast, about the heart of the podcast. Let's talk about that for a minute.
So I sheltered in place with my parents in 2020. I was living 3.5 hours away. My roommate moved back to be with her family. And so I went home. It just made sense. And it was a really, honestly, devastating time for the world and a very sweet time to be with my family.
Right.
It was wonderful to be home and everyone was safe in our little neck of the woods and it was sweet. But my dad and I got to spend a lot of time together, which was a blast. And we had chatted about maybe doing a podcast together for a long time. I got a podcast microphone in 2018, which is when I first started like really getting heavy into podcasts, was like 2018. I really wanted to make a scripted podcast.
Okay.
To do kind of like an audio drama.
Okay.
And I had even written like half of a script for a first episode. And so I asked for a mic because I wanted to see if that'd be something that I could do. And my dad was like, no, like he kept like dragging his feet about it. And finally we were like, no, we're doing it. It's 20, like everyone started a podcast. Right. It feels like in 2020.
There was nothing else to do.
There's nothing else to do. Everyone just started a podcast. And so we started a podcast. We kind of chatted about like what we wanted to talk about and what our different segments would be and all of that. And just started doing it because we were living in the same house. But then I went back to school. I moved back to Bowling Green. And it was a way for us to kind of continue to connect and talk about the things that we talked about, the stuff that we loved and enjoyed. And we were weekly there for a while. And it was just fun. Like my dad and I talked about stuff that we like and got to laugh with each other for an hour. And it was a blast. I had such a good time just hanging out with him.
Yeah.
I think that was the kind of the heart of our podcast. Like we were like, what would we even talk about? And Dad was like, well, I love nerd podcasts. So many of like the comic podcasts that I like, they cuss all the time.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I don't listen to comic podcasts, but I believe you.
Right.
He's like, well, what if we had like a family friendly podcast that talked about nerd stuff that we liked, that didn't cuss, that we talked about stuff that families could do together. Yeah. And go from there. It's kind of evolved. We have like shifted formats a couple different ways and like what we talk about, but it's kept pretty much the same structure.
Nice.
And I think we just recorded our 85th or 86th episode.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, been doing it for,
Very nice.
Very nice. Minute now.
Yes. You guys are usually on Tuesdays on Facebook Live. It's also available at a slightly delayed rate on audio podcasts.
That was very tender and generous of you, CJ.
Listen, I get
slightly delayed rate indeed.
So I do enjoy when I get 3 at a time, and I go, I know what I'm listening to for the next 3.5 hours.
I do have 3 that. fine. It's fine. I've been doing my dissertation.
No. You're good. You're good.
It's
You're good. When we're done, I'll see if I can assist you in any way in making sure that happens.
Yeah, that's fine.
Somewhat quickly, or because I feel like. By the time that I get to hear what your dad's pull list is, because Tuesday nights is my D&D night, so it's our.
They're gone.
They're gone, and so I'm
right.
like, I would have enjoyed to know that a week ago. No, you don't need to be better. You need to.
I need to.
Listen, I've got
perhaps increase my effectiveness.
Not even that. That's not what I'm saying. I have 3 episodes left of the Free Play podcast that I'm editing, and then it's done. And so you just need to say, hey, CJ, here's the podcast. Can you strip the audio and upload it? And I'll be like, got it. I can do that. So that's
it's the writing the blurbs.
Writing the blurbs.
We talk so much about so much stuff, and I write down all of the comics and all of the news and all of that, and it just takes so. It doesn't actually take that long. I'm being dramatic.
That's okay.
I could do it easy peasy in 10 minutes. It's just.
That's okay. That's all right. We'll figure it out. Because I do enjoy the show. Yes, I did mention at some point on LTN's comics channel, I was like, I need to stop buying comics that Todd doesn't recommend. Like, if he doesn't recommend it, I don't know why I'm wasting my money. He
recommends some good comics.
Not that he's saying don't get that one, but like I just need to stick to the safe one that he's like, this is the one to get. Although I haven't heard him talk about Rook yet, and that was a fantastic book. Well,
maybe we'll talk about that next week.
It's Ghost Machine's new stuff. He and I are set to do an episode on all of Ghost Machine's new stuff. So it's they're good stuff. So your show with your dad, I love it. It reminds me of conversations I have with my kid, Charlie Ann. Charlie Ann is a quality time love language girl. And so like she enjoys doing these with me. We enjoy she likes watching old movies. I say old, like from the 80s, you know. She says because number one, they can't rely on special effects. They have to tell a good story. That's one thing she says. And I'm like, preach, girl, preach. And two, she's
not wrong.
She's not wrong. And she goes, 2, when they try to be scary, I know it's fake. And so like that, like she doesn't have the jump scares because they're like, that's definitely not a real snake. So those are, although I told her, I said, I got some that are old that will still scare the pants off you.
Man, the Flash Gordon movie was so spooky to me.
It is.
As a kid.
We started watching that one, and I don't remember her. This was a couple years ago, Charlie. She's like 10. And there's the scene where Flash Gordon is communicating telepathically with that lady, and then the princess is like feeling him up, and he's like, ooh, that feels good. I'm like, stop, turn it off. No, not for us.
He had his hand in a thing.
Yes, that was later. That was the stinger thingy. Yeah.
My dad turned it off because we were all stressing out, and I was like, "Well, now I don't know if he lived."
They didn't make a second one, did they? They did make a second one. You don't know. You don't know.
It's because of the Queen song. Sorry.
That was. Oh yes.
But I'm with you.
Oh my gosh.
They're
yes.
spooky.
Yes. So, anyways, I enjoy that aspect of your show because you two sound like you enjoy being together. Like you enjoy that time, which is my goal for being a dad. Like I want my kids to enjoy spending time with me and part of it is because I'm also a quality time guy. So like I want them to want to spend time with me when I get there. And so I love that the show started with you guys had experienced time together. And then as there was separation, we need to do whatever we can do to find time to spend together. Which again, not to gush on your dad, but it's one of the things I love about him refusing to watch shows that mess with kids and their parents. Like I'm not watching it. Nope, done. Turn it off.
He won't do it. He needs to watch the D&D movie though.
Well, I get it. I get
good payoff.
It does have a good payoff. I know it does. Just remind him next time he says no, say, didn't they kind of flirt with that in that Birthright comic series that you read all 10 issues? Didn't they flirt with that a little bit and it ended up okay? So you could use that to manipulate him. Yeah, I think you could probably pull that off. Yep.
I'll put it in my pocket.
So what about you guys growing up? Just so I can take notes and try to be a little bit like Todd. What about your growing up experience with your dad caused you to be in a place where you say, yeah, Dad, I'll talk almost every Tuesday night about comic books with you for a couple hours? Like what was it? What about Todd and growing up was caused that? Or not caused that, but supported that.
Both of my mother is wonderful as well. And both parents have been very instrumental in sharing love and affection very loudly with us. especially for like little girls, it's very important how dads show love and affection, just because we pick up how we want to be treated in like romantic relationships and other things from that relationship.
Right.
Early on in life, it was certain that I was special. I remember in preschool, my first day of preschool, my dad took a half day from work. He picked me up from preschool with a single red rose and took me to McDonald's. And I played in the play place, and he asked me how my day was.
That's awesome.
And that has been true from the rest of forever. Like the first PG-13 movie that I watched was The Fantastic Four with Jessica Alba.
There you go.
Iconic.
Classic.
But like it was a Hannah Daddy date. Like we went to the Dollar Theater, and he took me out to dinner beforehand. He always would like let me read if it was appropriate, like what he was reading. Elf Quest was one of the first runs that I ever read. I was in 6th grade, and
Same. I read Elf Quest when I was in 6th grade.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so fun. Hey, I have all of the floppies now.
Okay, nice.
That was my first like little collection.
There you go.
And comics and nerdy stuff has been something that's special for us. I remember, again, 6th grade, bedtimes were different because I'm the oldest. So my little siblings had to go to bed an hour before I had to go to bed because their school was an hour before my school was. So my dad, like, I want to sit down and watch these movies with you, but we're only going to watch them in 30-minute increments. I was like, okay. We watched Lord of the Rings extended editions, all 3 of them.
So it took you 6 months.
30-minute increments. And then we did it for me. And then my little sister was able to spend time, like her bedtime changed, and we watched them again. So he's just very intentional about sharing what he loves. And asking me if I liked it or what I did or didn't like about it. And then introducing something else and sharing. I'm
looking up a verse that has been on my heart the last several months. It's in Malachi. It's chapter 4, verse 6. It says, he will turn the hearts of the parents to their children. Actually, when I read it, it said he will turn, there is a New Living. He will turn the hearts of fathers to their children and the hearts of the children to their fathers. And I remember hearing that, and it's something I have to remind myself, because while I love my children, I love spending time with my children, there are a lot of days where I'm tired and I get annoyed that they're kids. And I have to remind myself, like, Lord, turn my heart towards my kids. I don't want my kids to feel like I'm annoyed when they want to come and spend time with me, because that's the exact opposite. I want them to enjoy that. And so that comes with an intentionality that I'm glad to have. Your dad is an example of someone who says, I'm going to turn my heart toward my kids. He seems like a really busy guy. I'm sure he was probably very busy when you were growing up. And yet he says, this is important. This is important. And so it's a good example to see and to follow. And I have a feeling if I asked, when he becomes a grandfather, he'll probably have the same goal I have. I'm going to guess. My goal when my kids have kids is I want to be that grandfather that my kids go, Dad, please go home. Like, go home. You have been here far too long. Do you have anything? Do you have anything else to do?
I am trying to convince them to move to Nashville.
Listen,
mentioning it.
Well, your mom's got that counseling center that she just started.
I know. I mean, yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm not telling you what to do, but I mean, you're just finishing your doctorate. I mean, who knows where the winds will take you? It might take you north of the ways. Who knows?
It might. You're not wrong.
But no, I get that. That's cool.
It's very sweet, and I love them, very much. Something that we started doing when I was in college is my dad has Wednesdays off usually. And so I call him on Wednesdays and we talk.
That's awesome. That's when we did a lot of recording when I still worked at the church. I had Wednesdays. I'm like, let's go Wednesday afternoon. But now I have a real job and I have to be at school Monday through Friday and, all those things. Although I'm really looking forward to my first summer break in 29 school days. 29 school days and a 2-month paid vacation. Yes, please. I'll take it. Oh man, very cool, very cool. Well, where can my thousands of listeners, my 7 listeners, where can they find your podcast?
Yes. So our podcast is Sis and Big Pops Culture. A little pun for you, my dear sweet friends. We are anywhere that podcasts are. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. Does Pandora do podcasts? I thought that Dad said we were on there, but I haven't checked.
I didn't know Pandora still existed, but go
Pandora
for your dad.
Exists.
I mean, awesome. I'm glad someone is keeping them alive.
If there is a podcatcher that exists, we are likely on it.
Nice.
We have a YouTube channel? ? I think my dad is in charge of that one, and I'm in charge of uploading. Like, Dad is in charge of video. I'm in charge of audio. So.
Okay. All right.
We have a YouTube channel. It's not up to date.
Gotcha. So we're going to set up a Google Drive where your dad can drop the video in the Google Drive, and I will take care of the audio, the video, and upload it so that we get this going on a regular basis. Let's make it happen. Because right now we're recording this video, and it is literally 3 clicks to change this from video to audio. When I'm all done, it's like, yes. Export as MP3. Nope. Export as MP4. There we go. Upload both of them. So we'll see what we can do to make this thing a little professional. Okay. Yeah. And you don't have to reference me with the 9,000 other people you reference.
We reference so many wonderful people.
My brother Nate made the logo in Paint. I'm like, that's awesome. That's awesome. And is your brother-in-law that did the theme music?
Our cousin. So our cousin, my mom's sister's oldest child.
Okay. Yeah.
Lives in Nashville and is a musician. He's actually a high school choir instructor and is a musician too.
Nice.
He made intro music. Yeah.
I like it. I need to get a new intro.
That's our podcast.
Nice. Yeah. Anything else that you want to plug? Any side gigs? Nope. Okay.
No side gigs here.
So if we wanted to buy a copy of your dissertation, I'm kidding. I'm not buying a copy of your dissertation. I'm kidding.
I mean, it will be on Western Kentucky University's thing.
Impressive.
At some point.
Impressive. I have a buddy who got his PhD at UF, and he was like, let me take you by and show you where it is in the library. Like, it's in the library. There's like a section of all the dissertations. He's like, here it is, right here. Here it is. Do you want to read this? Isn't this exciting? And it was like,
again, I get it bound, I will.
Okay. There. Listen, and you should. Let's be honest, you should. And I know my mom, if I had a dissertation and there was the option, like I remember when I didn't pay for like professional photos when I graduated my bachelor's, and she was like, why? And I go, I ain't got money for that. And she goes, oh my gosh, I do. Get over here. We're getting professional photos done. He was an idiot and didn't pay and didn't ask me. I will pay for him. So I think probably mom or dad are gonna be like, let's buy a copy of that, put it on the mantle. Let's go. This is so good. When I was a youth pastor, I told him, if you ever write a book or release an album, like, I'm buying it. Like, even if it's garbage, I'm buying it because this is so cool that there's a book with your name on it. Let's go. So that'll be fantastic. Yes. Stoked. Yes. Well, sis, I appreciate you coming and geeking out.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've ever guested on a podcast.
Perfect. So now my goal is to get Sis and Big Pop on the same show. So there we go. We'll work on that. Okay,
let's do it. It was like a blast.
Yes, that'll be fun. Well, thanks.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for spending some time with us. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. If you're watching on YouTube, leave us a comment. We'll read that and share that on the show. The only comment that I haven't already mentioned is one where my brother said, Googling stuff, LOL. So, Logan, thank you for responding, Googling stuff, LOL. That is what we do when we watch a TV series about feudal Japan, and we have no idea what they're doing or why they're doing. We Google stuff. But leave a thumbs up and subscribe there too. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. Leave us a review. We'll read that on here as well. If you head over to nextgennerd.com, you can also share any episode from there to your social media. And again, anything that you share, email, whatever else, I will be happy to share here on the show. Remember, links to so much more are on the show notes and are available in our podcast app at the bottom of the YouTube video or at nextgennerd.com. If you want even more Next Gen Nerd, you can find me on Instagram at nextgen_nerd or on X at nextgen_nerd. And that's it for this episode. So until next time,
Peace out, Seacrest.